Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming on to share a layout process video. I haven't done one of these for a long time, so we're going to jump right in. I'm doing a mixed media background. I'm using these two dilution sprays, which are Peony Pink, Rose Quartz, Bubblegum Pink, and this Rose Quartz Hardy Shine. So what I'm going to do to start off with is I'm going to make my background. I'm going to take some water and spray it into kind of the top left hand corner. I do about 5 or 6 sprays. Make sure to shake your dilution spray. I just think they work better. I'm going to do a couple of pumps of the Rose Quartz. It's more of a muted tone rose, and then I'm going to tap the lid of my Bubblegum Pink because it's a really bright color. So I'm picking out the pinks in the photos. The photos are of me doing a color run at school. Then I'm going to mop up the excess with a paper towel. This paper towel is also textured, so you can kind of see that in the background, which is really, really nice. Then another technique that I love to do is I sprinkle some water on my hands, just like this, and then I flick it on top of it. This ink spray is water activated, so anytime you put water on it, it will reinvigorate itself and you can pick it up. So I love to do this technique because you get a nice mottled effect, as you can see here, kind of like bleached. I think it looks so cool. It looks like you did so much work when you really didn't do any work. So that is my background here, and I'm just lining up my photos so I can make sure that it's exactly what I want. I know this is out of focus. I'm so sorry. I'm really out of practice of doing these process videos, so I'm just lining it up and seeing that I want a little bit more down the bottom. So I'm going to add some more dots of the Bubblegum Pink, and I'm just trying to frame the photo with this mixed media background. Then I'm going to take the Hardy Shine. It's in the kind of like rosy color. It's like a pink color. It's really nice, and I'm going to tap it. If you're using this Hardy Shine spray or any Hardy Shine spray, you need to shake it for about 2 minutes because all of that pearlescent color sinks to the bottom. So I'm just tapping it with my finger, getting a nice blotchy effect, which I really, really like. And I'm going to mop up the excess with the paper towel. This also dries really quick, so I was able to put it down straight away. I'm using a little bit of my pencils just to add a little bit more texture. I'm doing little tiny stars, little tiny crosses and asterisks. I'm going to do it in pink and yellow. I'm going to skip ahead because I did do this for about 2 or 3 minutes and it's nothing that you really need to see. So I finished with my background and I'm lining up my photos here. So as you can see, I've got a massive pink stain on my shirt, and then I'm also throwing yellow dust, which is where I've got my color scheme from. So I'm just lining it up. I know I want the big photo on top as the central focus, and where I'm just pointing with my finger is where I want my title and then my cluster to be. So I really love doing white just white backgrounds. I think they give a lot more focus onto the photo, and it's definitely my style. I do love seeing pattern paper backgrounds, it's just not my style. I'm using the Sweet Story collection to map my photo, so I'm going to pick this pinky tone for actually the smaller photos. So I'm kind of doing opposite. The smaller photos have yellow in them, so I'm going to use pink to matte them, and then I'm going to use a yellow paper to matte the pink photo. I just used double-sided tape from Kmart to matte my photos. It's a really cheap brand, so it's nothing special. I'm just fiddling around with the photo placement again so I can make sure I know exactly where I want my pictures. I'm going to use foam tape to matte the big photo because I want it to pop up and kind of be an extra element of this is the main focal point in this layout. That's a really good way to get an extra focus point, is to use foam tape because it kind of draws your eye to it. Then I'm just going to stick the other photos down using wet glue and double-sided tape. The reason I'm using a little bit more wet glue is because I'm gluing it onto mixed media and it just needs a little bit more reinforcement. After I stock my photos down, I go straight to my title. I find this the easiest way to decorate layouts because I have my photo, I have my title, which are my focus points, and then I decorate around that. Like you see in the thumbnail of the video, the layout title is What a Colourful Life, or something about a colourful life. So this is how I ensure that my thickers are lined up perfectly straight. I saw this in a video like 8 years ago and I've always done it. I'm sorry that my hand keeps coming into the frame. So I stick them with just a tiny little bit on top of the plastic so that when I stick it down it is perfectly straight. I'm going to use these gold thickers here. I have no idea what they're called. I've had them for years. And I'm going to do Colourful Life, and then I'm just going to use a pen to write the other words. So I've stuck that down, and as off camera I've done a wonky switch around the whole layout just to kind of contain it. It's really cool, and I like to incorporate a little bit more stitching into my embellishments. Now I'm just grabbing my ephemera box here and I'm just fiddling around, and I think this is where it should go back into focus soon, hopefully. Yes, it's back into focus. So here I am going through my ephemera. This is how I store mine. This is kind of like my summery ephemera in the first box. They're kind of sorted in not colours but kind of themes. So this is a summer box. I also have like a darker wintry box, and then I have a vellum box, and then also I have one specifically for like more lovey things because I'm doing a wedding album as a present at the moment, so I'm trying to keep all my lovey stuff together. So I'm just searching through trying to find the pieces that I want to use. So I've chosen a few pieces and I'm just going to slip them in slightly underneath the photo so that they don't take up too much space. I know I really wanted to use that flower. I don't think I ended up using it because it was just making the layout look a little bit more darker, and I wanted it to look really bright and vibrant. So I'm grabbing out these fabric flowers from my stash. They're from AliExpress and they just add a nice textural element. Something I think that has improved in my scrapbooking layout since doing Happy Mail is that I'm really big on using texture now. So I would never have included fabric flowers or ribbon into my layouts before I started doing Happy Mail. I would never have done stitching on it, but now I just can't imagine doing without it. I just think it adds so much more fun. I'm just going through this spare chipboard box that I have to find kind of little sprinkly elements. The ones that I've actually grabbed, they're a bit hard to see because they're facing the wrong way, are actually from the Hey Santa collection. They're little star asterisks, and I'm going to dot them around the page as like a little sprinkling effect. I love doing that because they're tiny elements that your eye doesn't necessarily draw to, but it brings the whole layout together. I am just trimming down the wire off of the leaves. It's a little bit out of focus, but I'm going to mat them onto the back of this floral piece and stick that down. I did get rid of the house because I just thought it was a little bit too much, and I'm fiddling around with some other pieces from my stash. I hadn't made a layout in maybe 3 months when I filmed this video, and I also filmed this video about 2 months ago, so I don't remember everything, and it was really tricky to do a layout when I hadn't done one in so long. So I am just fiddling around with a few pieces. That floral ephemera piece is from the Marigold collection, and so is that. Marigold's what I'm working with at the moment, so it was on my desk, so I was just going through it. This is basically what it's going to look like. I am just going to skip forward now to when all of the pieces are glued down. I did use hot glue to glue everything down because it's quick and easy, and I'm not too worried about the archival element. If you are, use an acid-free glue. I did change the floral piece and I've added a few butterflies. I am just sticking it down with some wet glue from my stash. I reinforce all chipboard stickers because from my experience, they fall off, so I like to reinforce it. And I'm just gluing everything down. Let me know in the description if you like watching layout process videos. I did stop doing them for a while because they weren't very popular on my channel. So if you enjoy watching them, let me know and I can film some more, because I have 2 albums that are completely unfinished. So that's 40 plus layouts because I've just been really lazy. That happens sometimes. I'm grabbing out my paper flowers from my stash. I've gotten all of these from AliExpress or from Pen Pals, and I'm just gluing them down to add, again, another textural element. I don't really mind about the 3D-ness of them. If you were worried about it too much, you can get the resin ones, which are a lot smaller. I do actually use resin flowers on this layout as well. I wanted this to feel very naturey, outdoorsy, and also very bright, which is why I went with more brighter flowers, because the flowers that I chose that were chipboard and vellum were looking a little bit muted. So I'm sticking down some extra little sprinkly elements. These are just some gold thicker stickers from my stash and a little pink one. I'm loving the sprinkle effect of this layout. I'm just grabbing out my wood veneer container here. I got this in a D-stash, so it's a lot of wood veneer, I know, but it's not actually mine. I didn't buy it. It was given to me in a D-stash. I have probably need to de-stash it myself. I'm so sorry my head is in the camera. I couldn't see what I was doing. Get your head out or I'm going to cut you out. I have this wonderful piece which I think is so pretty, and it gives such a nice element to the layout. I love wood veneer. Number one, textural, like I've been saying this whole time, but also homey. I find that wood gives it more of a homey feel. That's the word that I'm thinking of. So I grabbed out a few butterflies. This is a cork heart that I'm gluing down, and I just sprinkle them across the page. Now my next thing that I'm going to do is stick down some tiny word stickers. So the first one I'm using, if I can read it, I think it says day of my life. I'm not sure. Then it says, I cannot read that, play hard. Like I said, I filmed this a long time ago, so I don't exactly remember what it says. And then love life is down the bottom. And that is pretty much the layout. I fiddled around with that piece for about a minute. I've sped this up really quickly and I just couldn't make it work. So this is the completed layout. I think it looks so cute and was definitely what I was going for. It's a very vintage me, so I'm just giving you a quick close-up. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!